Hi, everybody. Hey, so good to be here in another episode with me. And I'm coming from Yo soy, which means I am. Yes, I really love the fact that and love and recognize the fact that there is a presence inside of you that is so beautiful and is forever existent, right? So based on that, it's basically that I'm doing these videos, and I love to share my experiences and also what I know so that I can help somehow uh, humanity, right? Because we are one. I can help you guys somehow to remember and reconnect with the presence that I am in you, right? That I am, that the I am, the Most High, has a spark in you, which He calls the I am. So the I am presence cannot come out of you, and shine with all its mighty, unless we cleanse. Yes, unless we really cleanse ourselves and take out all those memories, right? All those painful memories, all those things that we haven't forgiven or we are not conscious about. We need to bring it out of the unconscious, make it conscious, and transform it. Once we do that, then we are ready to ascend to our next level. So, with that said, I want to speak today about something that I started in last video about abandonment, right? And I said that I also kind of mixed it with rejection, because it feels the same way, like the person that carries the energy, the abandonment. But in reality, there's also another trauma, because abandonment is a trauma. Remember, it comes from a trauma. So also rejection is another trauma, and is an energy that kind of like feels the same, as I was saying. So what is really rejection? Rejection is really opposition, or like negating something, like, right? It comes from also, it's a good energy. We're supposed to have this energy also to learn how to say no. But then again, because our parents, right, we first get it from our parents in on this realm. We get it first from our parents. It comes in our fetus. For some reason, they also have rejections in them. So it passes through the fetus, and then we come with it, and not now. Every time when your mom gives birth to you again, she has to resist, she has to reject you, she has to push you out. So in a way, she's also putting the force of rejection to push you out. So she's rejecting the fact that you are inside of you. Okay, so that's also repulsion. Like, she's really trying to get rid of you, but it's really just to give birth. But we have that, okay? And there's a great therapy that is called rebirthing, that the person that his pioneer is Leonard Orr, I believe is his name. I took therapy with him as well, so I do know how to give those therapies too. And it's usually in a hot tub. In a hot tub, you get in that hot tub and you have to really meditate on these things in order for you to actually resurface those memories and get rid of them. But you cannot get rid of them from one day to the other. You need to keep on meditating on it for like a good 21 days, sometimes longer, depending on how deep in your soul, because we also carry it in our souls based on other knowledges that I am not going to mention right now, but we come with it. So with that said, remember, rejection is opposition, is you rejecting something, is you saying no to something. So we have experienced rejections throughout our whole life because our parents said no to a lot of things, friends, teachers, family members, everybody. So in order for us to really like get in tune with that energy, right, and how bad it is in our aura field, in our magnetic field, we need to actually relive those memory. Go to our unconscious. You're not gonna get healed from your conscious unless you receive a really good shock, like a really crazy experience, like a, God forbid, a sickness that really wakes you up, if you can, and then you actually switch your mind around. But remember, as we were created, when we became a fetus, we were one cell, then two cells, right? The sperm and the ovary and the oval. Then it keeps on multiplying until you become it. But in that, when your mom and your dad actually made you and you became that fetus, right? In there, they impregnated their beliefs, right? So whatever they believe, whatever emotions they had, you have too. So that's why you need to go back and cleanse your fetus and start cleaning from your fetus all the way to when you actually experience rejection. So every time you experience rejection because your father, your mother rejected you somehow, your parents, your siblings, your family, your teacher, even people that were not even your friends, or whenever sometimes says no to you, they trigger you. They trigger that memory and it hurts you. Especially when it's coming from somebody that is not knowing how to say no, that is saying it very abruptly. So of course it's gonna hurt you, right? Or is treating you out of their own rejection, because you need to understand that rejection feels like a wall. It feels fierce. It feels like, oh, what's wrong with this person? This person has something so strong that I cannot get to that person. Because what happens is, once you have it in you, right? Once you have that opposition, that negation, that rejection, that how can I say it? Once you have that energy so strong in you, now you project it. Now you are really, other people feel it from you, and they don't even know what it is. They don't even know how to call it. They don't even know what to say. They'll just say, I don't know, but that person is like weird. I don't like that person. I don't like that person's energy, or that person's energy is so strong that I cannot even get close to that person. And the person, doesn't understand that it's within. Because once you have been rejected, that means you have been impregnated by that energy. So now that energy belongs in your magnetic field, and you're gonna be projecting yourself from that energy, and people are going to feel it. Okay, so just remember that it is resistance, it is opposition, it is like saying no. It has like a wall. You have like a wall, like a shield that is telling people, don't come to me. You became aloof, you became a loner, you just wanted to be by yourself, you didn't want to be included in anything, and you don't even know it. And if you do want to be included, then you want to be included with force, not with love, or not with from somebody else's choice, but from your own. No, I need to be liked. I need to be loved. I need to be accepted. It needs to be my way. Because also, when somebody doesn't agree with you, they're rejecting you. So there's people that actually don't even know how to say no and reject you in a way that it would hurt you. And sometimes people don't know how to take rejection, and they don't know how to give others the space. So that also is, so you have to be so aware. There's so much in this that you need to be aware of. Wait, if this person says no, let me give them their space. And don't take it personal. Remember, people are going to make the choices that they think is best for themselves. So a no, even though they don't know how to say it, sometimes they have to say it like so, with so much force, right? And reluctant, that you feel it, and it sticks to you and you hate it, right? But it's okay. And this is where I'm coming, right? So before I tell you the solution, I want to tell you what are the consequences, how people start feeling when you reject them, or how do you feel when you are rejecting, what it causes when you get rejected. Well, it could cause anxiety. It could cause depression, sadness, um, seclusion. You could become just a loner. You can become an introvert. You don't want to know anything about people. You're gonna generalize. Just because a few people do this to me, then everybody else is gonna do it. So that's generalization. Once one thing happens, you generalize that everybody's the same way, and then you make your decision, and that's you on a new mission. You understand? Because now you're gonna be a new person, a new you. Oh no, nobody wants me, everybody rejects me, nobody want to be with me, nobody wants to include me in their group, nobody wants to include me in their community, or so and so don't love me, or he or she doesn't love me. So it's basically, the same emotions evolve from this behavior, right? And then you adapt a new behavior that now is going to transfer to other people, and now you're gonna start creating your own life from that decision, because you already made the decision that nobody wants you, that everybody rejects you, that everybody is opposing you, that nobody is with you. And then this is what you're going to continue recreating in your life, because you believe it, because it happened, because it's an experience. So now it becomes your truth. Now you believe in it. Now there's an obstacle. Now you're in conflict in the future if you don't fix it. But guess what? Because your little you made that decision when you were a child, you cannot cure that as an adult. And as much as people say, oh, that's the past and the past just passed. No, it's there. Guess what? It became first a seed. The seed became a tree, and the tree is coming to fruition. And that's what you see in your life. So whenever you see it coming from your man or your boyfriend or your husband or your fiance or your friends or your family or your colleagues, it's because it's impregnated in you, it's imprinted, it's in you. So you need to go back, convince that little you, that meaning you, okay? You need to really, you're not going to do it from a conscious level, like I said, unless something really hard hits you. And this is why sometimes painful experiences happen to people. Why? Because if they would just do it in a nice way and say, okay, there's something that is not right, that is not so good about me, that I need to go change, or there's something that is not right about me, let me go change it. And if you know it, then don't waste any time, and don't waste time. Go change it in your past when it happened, and then you continue, because guess what, then more things are going to bloom, meaning more things are going to come to your conscious mind more. You're going to start remembering more. Oh, this day happened this, or this day happened this, or this day happened that. And then you're going to start healing, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, now I understand. Let me not blame this person for this. It's because it came from my childhood, or it came from when I was a fetus. That's why it's so important also to know the history of your parents, so you can know where your parents came from, and you can understand. Because if you don't understand, you're not going to accept, you're not going to believe. So then once you go through all that process, in a in a med in a meditation, you need to meditate. You need to be kind of like in a trance, or in a very deep prayer, where you kind of like feel like you're floating, like you're speaking to yourself and to God and to the spirit. And then the prayer can work in you, because the prayers doesn't just work by praying. You need to also visualize. You need to believe it. You need to go deep into that prayer and see it happening in order for it to make the change. Now, also consistency. You cannot just pray once and that's it. You're going to have to keep doing it at least for a good 21 days, and even beyond that, and even more. There's times that I feel like, okay, I got this. I already cured this. Good. Boom. Yeah, I cured one memory. I cured one time. It was only one time. That one time, maybe 5 times. But you know how many times things repeats? Like you keep reliving the same thing again and again and again. It's like you're in a loophole. That's why we're in the same loophole over and over again. And then you continue to say, why did this happen to me again? I thought I overcame it. I thought I cured them. No. It's happening again because you left something out. There was something wrong. Even if it was just a factor, even if it's just one factor that you left out, you need to go back and fix it. And then you're going to fix your present, you're going to fix the future, because you are going to become somebody else and somebody better, right? So with that said, knowing what it causes, the anxiety, the sadness, right? The loneliness, the separation, right? Knowing that rejection causes all of that, we need to be aware of how we say no. We can say no, we can. Yes, we're supposed to, because we need to know when to stop. But we also need to know how to say it, how to say no. Usually explain to the person, don't just say no. Or don't just say, I don't agree, or this is this, or this is that. Learn how to say it. Learn how people, don't be so defensive. Bring your defensive mechanism down sometimes. Sometimes we are ready to fight. Sometimes we just, there's such a power struggle in between us that, and I mean, when I say us, I mean people in general. And it's not personal. It's because that the person feels attacked, or the person feels that is supposed to defend themselves, because we're in a time that we tend to think that we always have to defend ourselves. That's why sometimes I just decide to stay quiet and don't say nothing. But at the same time, I cannot get into that habit, because I'm here also to help somehow. But I realized that it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. People still don't understand, because my job is not to convince them. My job is to say my experience. My job is to say what I know, and then just allow the knowledge to kick in. You know who's going to bring it in? Your spirit. Yes, call it your Holy Spirit. Call it God. Is the spirit in you that is going to convince you of what you're right or what you're wrong. So I don't need to convince you of this. I'm just inviting you just to give yourself a chance to actually meditate on all this and find yourself in a way, in the way that you really are. That beautiful spark, that beautiful spirit that is in you. But because we have so many layers of trauma, of negativity, of shocks in us that we need to remove, it doesn't really shine as it's supposed to shine. So how do we cure? How do we cure it, right? I told you we have to go in the past, but also we cure it with healthy self-esteem. Note that I say healthy self-esteem, not unbalanced self-esteem, not overdoing your self-esteem. Some people think that looking gorgeous is self-esteem, or overdoing the beauty, like a lot of us do it right now, right? Is having healthy self-esteem. No, that also comes from low self-esteem, because when you need to look outrageous, that also you're also trying to prove something that is outside, not inside. So note, the inside of you, the really big percent, because the 1% is the material part. That's part of the self-esteem, but it's not the real self-esteem. The real self-esteem comes from within, from the value that you have within. It means self-esteem. You really esteem yourself. You really love yourself. You really like yourself the way you are, not the way you look. Okay, I've seen women that don't look nothing gorgeous, nothing beautiful, and still they are beautiful the way they are. Okay, and I've seen people like that, and they have a self-esteem that nobody else, that maybe artists with all the money in the world, with looking gorgeous, and they still don't have. And there's people that have beautiful self-esteem having nothing, not even looks. So think about that. because that's what self-esteem is really about. And yes, and going back to self-esteem, self-esteem is like I said, has to come within. What value you have? How do you see yourself? How do you value yourself? Okay, how do you really perceive yourself? What do you think of yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Okay, yes, like I said, the physical counts, but it's within those morals, those rules, how much you cherish yourself. That's what really counts. That's the 99% that counts. The spirit, the identity that you have in you, the identity that comes from the spirit, from the I am, from your soul. So, with that said, you want to cure yourself? Go back to your past memories, cure them, meditate on them, and release them. Transform them. Change your belief. Change the way you see things. Don't blame yourself. Don't blame others. Don't take it personal. And self-esteem. Love yourself the way you are. See yourself as you really are. And project yourself from who you really are, not from who you think you should be or from what other people think you should be. So with that said, here I leave you with this message of how to cure rejection. And if you have any questions, if you think you really need to dive deeper into this, let me know. Reach out to me. I can help you. I can help you with the therapy. I can guide you on how to do it because only you can do it. Nobody else can. Everybody else that says, oh, I can do it for you. Let me do this ritual for you. Let me do this for you. It's a lie. Because only you, by diving deep inside, can do it. With all that said, I love you. I send you a virtual hug. And remember, we are one.